to Deep Sleep Stories. Thank you to everyone who's been listening. If these stories help you relax or fall asleep, a short review, comment, or sharing the podcast with someone who might benefit is a simple and meaningful way to support the show so that we may continue to offer it for free. Now, take a slow, gentle breath and let's begin tonight's story.
Welcome to Deep Sleep Stories. You have arrived at the soft twilight of your day, a tranquil moment set aside just for you. Let your breathing settle into a gentle, soothing rhythm as you close your eyes or rest them in a comfortable gaze. Feel the quiet that blooms around you, the hush that drifts in like a comforting friend. Right now, you deserve nothing but ease and calm. You have come here to experience a peaceful tale, a silent night stroll through the candy cane forest, and with each slow exhalation, you can already sense the subtle invitation of a magical peppermint-scented breeze floating toward you. Soon you will journey into a land of towering candy canes, glittering snow, and gently humming starlight. But for this moment, take a deep, cleansing breath and allow your shoulders to relax, your eyelids to grow heavier, and your mind to settle like fine snow falling in a quiet wood. You may notice your body resting more deeply into whatever is supporting you. There is no rush, no pressure, just the soft lull of your own breath. In this calm beginning, you are simply preparing yourself for a journey of gentle wonder. Imagine a serene night, the air crisp with promise. You might picture a sky as deep as midnight velvet, where sparkling stars drift across the darkness with languid grace. In the near distance, there waits a marvelous grove, a forest of candy canes standing tall and proud, silently beckoning the curious traveler. That is the world you will soon explore, a realm glowing with the magic of warmth and quiet. Each step forward will be wrapped in the hush of snow, each breath infused with the comforting hint of mint. If a stray thought wanders into your mind, simply acknowledge it and let it float away. Tonight, all that matters is your rest, your comfort, and the gentle unfolding of this fairy tale story. Let your thoughts soften and dissolve like sugar in warm milk, allowing the hush of the evening to guide you toward a place of stillness and safety. Slowly, you drift farther from the day's cares. Let them fade into the background. Let them grow smaller and smaller until they vanish entirely. In a moment, you will step into the calm world of our story, where the rustle of peppermint-scented leaves, the shimmer of moonbeams, and the tender hush of the forest await. This is your time to be carried on a gentle wave of imaginative wonder, a place of cozy magic that exists just for you. A hush envelops the candy cane forest on this night of silent, silvery starlight. Snow blankets the ground, casting a subtle glow in the moon's gentle rays. At the forest's edge stands a solitary figure bundled in warm layers of plush fabric. By the faint flicker of lantern light, it becomes clear that this traveler has a soft, calm presence, a quiet soul seeking a small adventure under the hush of winter skies. figure lifts a mittened hand and holds the lantern higher, letting the gentle golden circle of light illuminate the peculiar shape of enormous candy canes arching overhead. They tower like whimsical trees, striped red and white, each one bending gently toward the path to form a canopy of sweet enchantment. Even from this distance, one can almost smell the delicate aroma of peppermint swirling through the crisp air. Snow drifts lightly across the traveler's boots as they take that first step onto the winding path. A hush of falling flakes covers the forest in an otherworldly stillness, as though even the wind has paused to admire the scene. The candy canes themselves stand gracefully, their stripes shining beneath the moonlight, creating a landscape that seems half dream and half reality. In this peaceful realm, the snow gleams like scattered starlight, and each breath of air is as cool and clear as a lullaby. From time to time, a faint tinkling sound echoes from somewhere within the forest, like delicate wind chimes swaying in the breeze. It might be snow crystals bouncing off the candy canes, or perhaps a far-off laugh from an unseen sprite. Everything here feels hushed and safe, the kind of quiet that encourages slow, thoughtful exploration. Through this space, the traveler walks at an unhurried pace, letting each step carry them deeper into the heart of the forest. The candy canes line the path in gentle rows, some curving in tidy arches overhead, others twisting around each other like braids in a child's hair. On this silent night, the frost-laden air sparkles with suspended ice crystals, each one reflecting the warm glow of the lantern. Every so often, the traveler extends a hand to the side, brushing gloved fingertips along the smooth, peppermint-striped bark of these candy cane trees, feeling the unexpected warmth that seems to live within them. It's a curious warmth, as if these magical trees generate their own gentle heat, a softness that calls to mind sweet memories of holiday evenings by a glowing fireplace. As the traveler ventures deeper, the path beneath becomes more defined, seemingly shaped by the quiet footsteps of countless wanderers over time. Now and then, the forest canopy parts slightly, allowing starlight to spill onto the ground in pale patches. Each time the traveler steps into one of these silvery pools, there is a subtle tingle in the air, as though a hidden spell is at work. The hush grows deeper. The night air becomes so soothing that it feels like the entire forest is singing a lullaby of stillness, each candy cane resonating with a faint hum. It is a place of gentle magic, where time slips by without notice. Farther along, the traveler notices that the candy canes begin to vary in color. While red and white stripes dominate, some trunks show subtle twists of pastel pink or lavender, a light dusting of shimmering sugar that gleams under the moon. One particularly tall candy cane trunk has a swirling pattern of gold inlaid with the red, reminiscent of ribbons dancing in the breeze. Where the trunk meets the ground, flecks of peppermint-scented snow catch the lantern light in bright sparks of reflection. There's a sense of wonder in every detail, as if the forest itself takes pleasure in dazzling the quiet visitor. Now and then, soft footprints appear, a delicate indentation in the snow, suggesting that gentle creatures roam here too, leaving faint traces of their own silent journeys. Curious, the traveler slows to examine a cluster of enormous candy cane stalks. Their shapes intertwine like braided vines, creating a kind of archway. From the archway dangles a collection of thin, sugar-spun bells that jingle faintly whenever a breeze passes by. The sound is so soft and tender, it almost blends into the hush of the night. As the traveler lifts a hand and nudges one of the bells, the sweet chiming melts into the quiet with the comfort of a lullaby. For a moment, the traveler stands still, letting the melody wash over them, feeling it resonate in the heart of the forest. A wave of calm blossoms in that space as though the entire realm sighs in gentle contentment. Beyond the archway, the landscape opens into a small clearing. Here, the candy canes form wide rings around a clearing softly lit by moonbeams. In the center stands a single peppermint stump, perhaps the remnant of an old candy cane tree that has given way to time and transformation. Its surface is smooth and pale, striped with faint patterns that once glowed vibrantly. Scattered around are tufts of frosty grass that peek through the snow, lending the scene a soft, textured carpet. The traveler steps closer, discovering something curious about the stump's surface, an intricate pattern etched into the peppermint. It looks like swirling vines that converge into the shape of a snowflake. As the lantern's glow plays on these carved lines, they seem to shimmer faintly, as if holding some long-forgotten enchantment. Intrigued by this hidden magic, the traveler sets the lantern gently on the stump, letting its warm light fill the clearing. For a time they simply stand there, inhaling the crisp fragrance of winter wind and candy canes. Overhead, the sky stretches endlessly, sprinkled with stars that quietly gleam. There is a sense that this space is inviting, perhaps offering a moment of rest, a place to pause and absorb the forest's gentle spirit. Feeling the hush around them, the traveler seats themselves on the stump's wide surface, grateful for a moment of stillness. And in that stillness, it almost feels like the forest breathes, a subtle, barely noticeable rhythm, akin to a slow heartbeat. The traveler's own breath begins to align with it, creating a deep sense of oneness with this magical place. All around it, the candy cane trees seem to vibrate with a gentle hum of life. Their surfaces reflect the moon's glow, each stripe gleaming as though formed of starlight. On the horizon, a cluster of pale clouds drifts by, momentarily covering the moon and painting the ground in a softer shade of dusk. A hush falls, even deeper than before. The traveler closes their eyes, letting their ears pick up the whispered lullaby of wind in the peppermint leaves. There is no hurry here, no urgency at all, just the comforting knowledge that this night is timeless. The breeze that wanders between the trees carries only warmth and soft, tinkling bells, reminding all who listen that this is a realm set aside for rest and gentle dreams. While the traveler sits, they become aware of a soft glow in the distance. It flickers behind the tall forest spires as though beckoning quietly. Curious yet unhurried, the traveler stands once more, collecting the lantern and walking toward the glow. Each crunch of boots on snow is subdued and reassuring, weaving seamlessly into the hush that swaddles the entire landscape. As they continue, the candy canes grow closer together, forming a denser canopy overhead. The twisting stripes occasionally reveal hidden alcoves or meandering side paths where giant peppermint leaves sprout from the ground, glittering with ice crystals. Gentle wisps of sugary fragrance drift across the path, lighting the air with comforting sweetness. Even a deep inhale in this place feels restful, as though breathing in the forest's soft magic. Eventually, the traveler steps into another clearing, this one larger and more open to the moonlit sky. At its center stands a grand pale blue peppermint tree, similar in shape to the candy canes, but topped with a graceful swirl that rises into the sky like a spire. Around it, sugar-spun lanterns dangle from slender branches, each lantern glowing with a serene light that shifts gently in color, pale lavender, soft gold, then a quiet turquoise. Beneath the branches, a circle of smooth peppermint benches is arranged as if waiting for some nighttime gathering. A faint sense of companionship lingers here, even though the clearing is empty. It feels as if the forest itself is welcoming any quiet soul who passes through, offering them a place to rest and maybe share a silent moment with the stars. Drawn by this silent invitation, the traveler edges closer to the glowing tree. The lantern's own light merges with the subtle shimmer of those suspended around the clearing. In that union of soft illumination, everything is cast in dreamy hues. The snow sparkles in pastel glimmers, and the tree's striped bark looks as though brushed by silver dust. The traveler sets the lantern on one of the benches and steps beneath the tree's arching branches. Looking upward, they see ribbons of peppermint leaves, each one shaped like a graceful swirl, forming a tapestry overhead. Through the delicate lace of leaves, constellations flicker like shy lights, and the sky's quiet vigil seems to reflect the forest's gentle spirit. Taking a seat on one of the benches, the traveler notices a faint tingling sensation, as if warmth seeps from the peppermint surface, relieving any trace of cold in the night air. Perhaps it's the forest's subtle magic at work. No one here is meant to be chilled or uncomfortable. The gentle glow of the suspended lanterns dances across the traveler's face, painting it with tranquil shades of color that shift slowly, a kaleidoscope of calm. During this lull, the traveler's breath becomes slower, more measured, naturally falling into the comforting rhythm of the forest. Time stretches in a quiet hush, and the mind drifts as lightly as a snowflake. Off to one side of the clearing, a narrow path shimmers with flickers of reflected light. It seems to slope gently downward, and though the traveler is not in any rush, curiosity stirs again, guiding them to stand and gather their lantern once more. The forest, it seems, has many quiet wonders in store. A light breeze stirs, and the sugar-spun lanterns bob gently in reply, as if they're bidding a friendly farewell. Soon, the traveler sets off along this softly glittering trail, boots sinking into fluffy drifts that whisper a muted crunch with each step. As the path descends, the candy canes on either side of the traveler stretch taller, forming a graceful corridor of arching stripes. Overhead, the branches of peppermint leaves grow denser, their swirling shapes woven so intricately that the night sky peeks through in starry pinpricks. And yet, there is no suffocating darkness. The forest has its own radiance, each cane trunk seeming to glow from within like gentle nightlights placed there by caring hands. Here the air carries the faintest hint of sweet spice, something reminiscent of cloves or cinnamon, dancing in harmony with the crisp scent of peppermint. It's the sort of aroma that brings warmth to the heart, like sitting by a winter fire with a warm mug in hand. Eventually the corridor opens onto a small valley. The snow here is softer and more powdery, creating a gently rolling landscape of mounds and dips. The candy cane trees stand at the valley's edges, their tall stripes outlined against the horizon. In the center of the valley, there appears to be a frozen pond, its surface reflecting the moon in a perfect circle of glowing silver. At first, the traveler simply marvels at the sight of that mirrored moon suspended in the pond's glassy surface. It's as if the entire sky has stooped down to offer a gentle greeting. Curious about this serene place, the traveler moves closer to the pond's edge. Light from the lantern illuminates the crystal-like shimmer on the ice. Tiny fractals dance, forming star-shaped patterns that spread elegantly across the pond. The traveler kneels, peering at these frosty designs. A hush lingers, broken only by the distant tinkle of sugar bells far behind. For a moment, it's tempting to reach out and touch the ice's surface, but the traveler hesitates, some part of them sensing that touching the pond might stir a ripple of magic. Instead, they simply remain, admiring the uncanny beauty of that reflection. The moon above, the moon below, and all around them. The gentle hush of an enchanted forest. Eventually, a soft whisper of wind encourages the traveler to rise. A gentle nudge from the night itself suggests that the journey continues. Lantern in hand, the traveler skirts the pond, following its perimeter. The path here is less defined, but the candy cane trees in the distance offer subtle guidance. Their trunks gleam in stripes, a silent invitation to follow. The ground beneath is a patchwork of fresh snow and glimmering frost, each step accompanied by a quiet crunch that soothes the mind. No footsteps remain for long, though. The light snowfall covers them with a blanket of white, as if the forest prefers to keep its secrets hidden. In time, the traveler comes across a gentle slope leading up from the valley. Tall candy canes flank this upward path, creating a spiral of red and white stripes that points the way. With every step up, the air feels lighter, the hush grows even more serene, and the peppermint scent intensifies in the most comforting way. The traveler climbs slowly, pausing at intervals to look back at the valley. The frozen pond in the distance looks now like a silver coin nestled in white snow. Overhead, the stars sparkle, quietly celebrating this moment of peace. At the top of the slope, a breathtaking view unfolds, a wide panorama of the candy cane forest stretches out in every direction. The moonlight highlights the tops of the candy canes, making them glisten like giant stripes of moonlit taffy. The forest seems endless, a rolling sea of peppermint swirls. In the far distance, gentle hills lift the horizon. Between them, faintly visible, a faint glow rises, perhaps another hidden clearing, or maybe just the reflection of moonlight upon frosty ridges. Standing on this small crest, the traveler feels a sense of awe at the forest's quiet beauty. A breeze lifts, carrying a delicate swirl of snowflakes. They drift around the traveler in a slow, graceful dance, as though inviting them to join the hush of the night's dance. Following the natural contours of the land, the traveler notices a narrower path, weaving through tall candy canes that appear almost like pillars in a grand hall. The stripes at their bases are wide and thick, tapering into thinner bands higher up. With the lantern lighting the way, the traveler steps into this corridor, letting the peppermint pillars guide them. The air here is especially soft, each breath filled with a sweet chill that tingles in the lungs, yet also comforts. The hush is profound. Even the traveler's steps seem softer, as if the snow yields willingly beneath each footfall. Suddenly, there is a gentle flicker of light from behind one of the larger candy canes. It's a sparkle that gleams once, then disappears. The traveler pauses, peering into the stripes of shadow and moonlight. For a moment, the forest is entirely still. Then, with delicate caution, a small creature emerges. A tiny, luminescent, rabbit-like being with ears shaped like curled peppermint leaves. Its fur glows in the moonlight with a soft pastel shimmer. The traveler stands very still, heart warmed by this unexpected visitor. The little creature blinks curiously, its eyes reflecting gentle kindness, as if it too wonders who might be walking through the forest at this silent hour. After a moment of shared curiosity, the creature gives a timid hop closer. Perhaps it senses the traveler's calm and gentle spirit. They regard each other in the hush, the only sound a distant breeze and the faint jingle of sugar-spun bells in the depths of the forest. Slowly, the traveler extends a mittened hand, not to touch, but simply to greet. The creature seems to accept the silent salutation, sniffing the air in a tiny gesture of trust. Then, with a graceful leap, it bounds off into the shadows, leaving behind a light swirl of sparkling snow. For a few moments, the traveler wonders if it was a figment of the forest's dreamlike enchantment, but the faint paw prints in the snow assure that it was real. Another inhabitant of this gentle night realm, crossing paths at just the right time. Moving onward, the traveler notices that the candy canes in this part of the forest are spaced more widely. The ground rises in slight ridges, lined with pastel-hued peppermints that sprout like small shrubs. Swirls of color swirl gracefully along their edges, reminiscent of delicate ribbons. The air is almost still, lulling any hint of excitement into a sweet sense of calm. It's the kind of stillness that invites thoughts to drift away, letting the mind empty itself of any worries or lingering echoes of the day. In this protected corner of the forest, every detail seems to murmur a comforting lullaby. The hush of snow, the faint tingle of mint in the breeze, and the soft glow of striped trunks all weave a tapestry of repose. Eventually, the traveler arrives at a gently rounded hill nestled among the candy canes. Its slope is covered with peppermint petals that have fallen, creating a pink and white patchwork. Soft lumps of snow gather in the spaces between petals, forming pillowy drifts. At the hill's crest stands a tall candy cane formation shaped like a graceful pavilion. The stripes twist to form columns, and a roof of delicate leaves arches overhead, forming a cozy alcove that glitters with a dusting of frost. It's as though the forest has provided a final resting place for any weary wanderer who might wander this far. Climbing the slight rise, the traveler enters the pavilion. Instantly, a balmy warmth envelops them, as if the striped columns themselves radiate gentle heat. In the center stands a small stand carved from peppermint bark, upon which rests a bowl filled with shimmering sugar crystals. They reflect the lantern's light, sending glints of color dancing across the pavilion ceiling. When the traveler breathes in, the air feels subtly sweet, almost like the comforting scent of fresh-baked cookies. With a grateful sigh, the traveler sets the lantern down and seats themselves on a smooth peppermint ledge. The hush that surrounds them now is deep and abiding, like a lull within a lull. Here, time seems to vanish. The traveler becomes aware only of the quiet, the gentle swirl of thoughts dissolving into the silent embrace of the forest. Moonlight filters through the peppermint leaves, casting pale stripes of light that shift whenever a delicate wind stirs the canopy. The warm air soothes any tension in the traveler's muscles, inviting the body to soften and grow heavy with rest. The entire forest, it seems, is breathing one last lullaby, urging all living things to enter a realm of gentle dreams. With each passing moment, the traveler's eyes grow a touch more drowsy, as though lulled by the hush of this enchanted world. A subtle sense of homecoming embraces this space, the sweet knowledge that the journey here was not just about walking through a magical forest, but also about arriving at a place of deep and nurturing calm. In the traveler's mind, images drift lazily, stripes of red and white glowing in moonlight, a tiny creature bounding away with a swirl of snow, the mirrored pond reflecting a perfect moon. All these moments coalesce into a gentle lull, softening the edges of consciousness until it feels like a tender dream. Beyond the pavilion, the candy cane forest continues to stand in silent vigil, each trunk humming with an ancient, restful magic. Somewhere deeper in the woods, sugar bells occasionally chime, carried by an almost imperceptible breeze. Their song is faint, like a memory of laughter, echoing through the hush. It's the kind of sound that reassures you that peace is always near, that wonder can be found in even the quietest corners of the world. In the quiet of this final resting place, the night settles into its deepest lull. The traveler's eyes grow heavy under the soft glow of moonlight and lantern light. Each breath is drawn in slowly, allowed to swirl gently within, and released with a sense of grateful relief. The forest pavilion offers protection from the cold, from the day's concerns, from any clamor of thought. This is a sanctuary of calm. Let this hush fill every corner of awareness, inviting all remaining tension to slip away as silently as a snowflake drifting from the sky. Within these peppermint arches, time drifts like a whisper. The traveler's heartbeat steadies, matching the forest's gentle pulse. If there are any restless stirrings in the mind, they are lulled by the soft, welcoming hush. The memory of that silent night stroll, of the candy canes shimmering in the moonlight, holds the traveler in a comforting embrace. The hush of the forest encourages drowsiness, and the traveler, content and at peace, feels each eyelid grow heavier, each breath longer and more soothing than the last. Outside, the faint jingle of sugar bells grows ever more distant, like a lullaby drifting away as sleep approaches. Snow continues to fall in light, delicate flurries, but within the pavilion, only serenity reigns. As the traveler's eyes close, the swirling patterns of the candy canes linger in the mind, a memory of gentle stripes guiding the way to restful dreams. The hush of the forest folds itself around the traveler like a soft blanket, cradling them in a promise of safety and shelter. The world beyond the candy cane forest fades into a soothing, faraway hush, leaving only the essence of moonlight and peppermint-scented air. With a final exhalation of contentment, the traveler surrenders to this place of calm, allowing deep relaxation to envelop body and mind. If the forest had words, it might whisper a tender farewell, an invitation to stay as long as needed, to find comfort in the hush, and to dream sweetly under the silent watch of moonlit arches. In this moment, the forest breathes, the traveler breathes, and all is well. Let the final echoes of that peppermint-scented realm float effortlessly into the realm of dreams. Good night, dear traveler. Sleep well.